I remember it a little more as long as it goes.
What is up, people? My name is Stahv. You're in my living room. I'm also known as Stephen April. You can find me on Instagram at stahv.april with 2 L's. So today, I have the man that made that intro track for me a long time ago. He is a super talented and creative friend that we go way back, and Charlie said it before we even stepped in front of the cameras. He's like, you're just one of those guys that we can pick up and have a conversation no matter how much time has gone on. And
This is true.
Charlie Urick, everybody. Charlie Urick.
Hey guys, thank you guys. Add the SFX.
Welcome,
SFX
welcome.
here. Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. It's so good to see you and your face in the beautiful new place and that.
We in different spots in life since the last time we talked, for sure.
I feel like it changes like by the month.
It's always something new.
For the past like 2 years, I feel like I haven't been able to get a footing. Like I just saw a meme, and it was like the part in The Office where Angela comes up by Dwight, and he's like, "Fuck!" Or he's like, "Damn!" And it was like with Putin as Angela, and it's like soon as my 2022 starts to like regain normality,
Something just comes
Putin.
out of the blue. There's always something that comes into your life and is just out here to mess you up, man. And no matter how many things come between Charlie and I, we just find each other, man.
yeah,
We just find each other, man.
It's okay. It's a soul type love.
It is.
It's just meant to be. You find our way back.
You know, I got a story to share with you because before this, all right, I feel like Charlie's one of those people that I can just tell a story, right? And no matter what the story is, Charlie just accepts the story for what it is and hops in. So I want you to picture yourself. You wake up, you go through your day, you haven't eaten anything, right?
Ooh.
It's like getting close to lunchtime. You're getting a little hangry. So you preheat your oven, right?
Sure.
You preheat your oven. You're like, I'm gonna make a frozen pizza, right? I'm a single guy.
Yeah.
I live by myself.
Uh-huh.
I have frozen pizza like twice a week. Who cares, right?
Yes, that's true.
So
Factual.
sitting on that very couch, right? Waiting for the oven to preheat. It takes a while. It takes like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. Oven, preheat. Done. I walk up. I go over my freezer. I open my freezer. There's no pizza. And it hurts.
Stings.
When you open the freezer and the oven's preheated and there's no pizza.
I can't believe you didn't check beforehand. That just makes it double disappointing.
No, but would you check?
Oh, would I check? No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, see? And that's how I feel like 2022 is going right now, dude.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. I can't actually heat anything in my oven because I had people coming over.
Yeah.
And I put everything on my counters in my oven, like to clean.
Okay, yeah.
Because this was I'll be there in 5 minutes sort of thing. Well, I preheated the oven with everything in it, and it at 450 degrees. So like, I looked up from my like Game of Thrones. My whole kitchen is surrounded in smoke, and it's so bad. And I didn't go off because I'd covered my smoke alarm because of blunts. And
obviously,
man,
did you?
That was disappointing.
I mean, like you had like,
there was
your oven must
plastic
just
dripping. There was random glass. Like I think there was a cup in there. It smelled so fucking bad too.
So what did we learn from that whole experience, right? Was there a learning moment that came out of any of that?
I don't do a better job. Shit. I was just so disappointed though. I was like, you really need to like think things through a little more, right?
No, but sometimes you gotta use your oven as storage. You know, like,
Everyone has at one point or another.
right?
Subscribe, if you've used your oven as storage at one point in time.
It's not a good habit for obvious reasons, but
I told myself too, I remember putting it in specifically knowing I was like, I'm totally going to forget about this. I definitely need to remember to take it out.
and you pulled through for yourself in the worst way possible, but you did it.
Yeah. Yeah. He did it up with smoke.
So, Charlie Urick, ever since your hit single "You," I really haven't seen much of your music or heard much of your music. You have some hits here and there that you decide people are worthy to hear your music. But Charlie, when are we getting an album?
Man, honestly, I'm trying to go for the next month or two, because it's come to a point where I kind of just
It's cap.
I have so much music that I have to release it. And after years and years of people being like, come on, please. And
we need some Charlie.
Yeah, I need to get it out. So my goal, and you got to hold me to it, is 2 months. But I'm trying to focus more on singles than albums.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I just feel like singles are a lot easier for people to digest.
Right. It's a one and done. But Charlie, dude, you have such an aura about you, man, that you could tell some of the best stories through an album. And I just think I haven't even heard 99% of your music, because Charlie's one of those guys that is always working on something and never putting something out.
No, never.
And
it's bad.
I have to, there's no way there aren't just some of those tracks that I locked away in a vault that are meant to be out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just create so much at such a quick rate, I guess, or most of just because I'm impatient, that I find that I'll have I can go through literally right now on the phone. I have 6-7 albums done.
But you say it's impatience that you
because
you
because by the time that I'm ready to release the album and it's all through being mixed and mastered, I've already made something that in my opinion just represents better.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
because it's I create more almost on feeling, and that's kind of always how I've done it. I don't necessarily I just kind of start somewhere, and if it doesn't work, I drop it instantly and move on to the next one. That's kind of just the process. So I kind of see that in albums. I'll do a whole album and I'll be happy with it, and the next day I'll listen to it, and it's just not what I'm.
YD and I talked about this exact thing on the last episode, and dude, that is why I relate so much to you. Is because that exact thing. I think it's a real sign of true artistry and wanting to perfect your craft.
Yeah.
It's because we all have those projects where it's I don't know. There's always going to be something better,
Sure.
But we have to show the progress, dude. We have to show the progress. Right. And I'm bad at it. YD's bad at it. You're bad at it. But what would happen, right? What would happen if we just let the world see?
Man, honestly, nothing. That's the thing. That's the thing that I kind of struggle with too. Is I find that when I do drop something or post a picture or something that has to do with being in front of the copious amounts of people on the internet, I just overthink it way too much, and then I get all in my head and then when I post it, nothing happens. If anything, I get half as many likes as I thought I was gonna get. And then I'll be oh shit, that didn't do anything.
Right? No, I when I went to go put out this podcast, the very first one, dude, I was shitting myself. Right? I was so concerned about what other people thought. Yeah. And I got the most crazy positive feedback. People were interacting with me. God damn it, my my heating turned on. Charlie,
that's okay.
Behind you there on the wall, you see that? You're going to have to press some buttons for me here. All right?
Yeah, I got you.
So on the very, I'm telling Charlie, for those of you who are listening, how to turn off my heating because I forgot to do it before we started.
If anybody has a Honeywell home.
Okay, so the very left, there's a schedule, and you have to click the button a few times. You know what? I'm never going to be able to describe this to you, so I'm just gonna come over and do it. All right,
Okay.
cut.
I was gonna try.
Come on, this dude. All right, we gotta. This is really inconvenient.
No, it's Foley, background Foley.
Background full.
Foley artists. I was watching a YouTube video on Foley artists the other day, and it was blowing my fucking mind.
Oh, how insane! I mean, they think of everything.
Motherfuckers literally gotta go to work, get stoned, and fucking put mics next to toothbrushes.
Yeah, but they think of literally everything. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Dude, it's off, right? Like, it says off.
Yeah, it does right here, little tiny.
Yeah, that's
OFF,
insane.
I believe.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, and we're back.
And we're back.
And we back. And we back.
Chance, the rapper.
Yes, sir.
All right.
sir.
So hopping on the train that was so rudely interrupted. Thank you, heating. Man, real third world problems here.
Our tech producer is not doing this job.
Ned, get on it, bro. But I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I saw a video from A$AP Rocky, right? And he's talking in front of the camera. I don't know the context behind any of this, but it's A$AP Rocky and he was talking, so I listened. How are you going to knock someone in the world for actually trying to do something? Trying. Since when has it become not cool to try? And after getting the feedback from my first episode and even having a few people trying to knock me down for trying, I think it at the end of the day, it told me that I should just keep doing what it is I'm doing.
Totally.
And not care.
Yeah.
And it'll bring the right people to me, you know?
Yes.
And I think
absolutely.
it's exactly the same with your music and putting music out on a regular basis. I mean, it's all in your head.
Totally. 100%. It all is. Yeah.
It's all in your head.
You just like gotta push past the self-doubt.
So,
It's way more like prevalent than anybody else's doubt.
right.
Because you know you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what you hate about the music you're releasing. You know what you can change. You know what you have changed. You know, like, what you have recorded. So it feels, to me at least, like I'm the one that's going to come the hardest on myself.
Right.
You know?
We got to ease up on that. Life is already too hard. Do not give yourself a break.
Yes. Yes. That's very true. Life is hard.
Life is
Really
hard,
hard.
man. We're going through
It's
it.
really hard.
We're going through it. But life brought us here, man. And I hear you have a studio that is literally like right outside this window.
Yes.
Which is
Literally just
insane.
outside.
I
I've been
told-
there for... A-Rot started the studio.
Okay.
So it's like his baby, building-wise. But he just had asked me to come through and help him record some people. He's getting really like big into the NFT
Really?
community.
Yeah, everybody is. Okay.
Yeah. Because he's doing stuff with like Adobe with that Dookie's.
Oh,
stuff,
really?
Which follow Dookie's NFT.
Yes. And dude, shout out to Adobe. He's going through the shit right now.
The shit. Literally.
Literally, one of his campaigns was ripped straight out of his hands. And it pisses me off so much because as a creator, I cannot imagine getting something stolen from me.
And how
So,
blatantly too.
it's
like
awful.
it's so and like he just posted today. He's like, I was at like one of the local high schools and saw it. And I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, I wasn't even thinking of that.
It has
like I was
so much
imagining like
reach.
the NBA stealing his concept, and it's like, wow, that itself is crazy. But imagine the NBA plus every fucking Nike signed sponsored school
It's
stealing your
insane.
idea.
So for those of you who don't know about what we're talking about, we have a creator in Green Bay who goes by Adobe Bryant who does insane work. If you don't know about him, I don't know
Insane
how.
work.
But he had a campaign. It was called Be All In, Ball In. You can go check it out on his Instagram. I encourage you to go check it out on his Instagram and share it and spread awareness. But yeah, I mean, he got his shit stolen. Straight up.
He has read receipts too. That's the crazy thing.
He has all the receipts. You literally can't prove it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, please, please, please Go show my man
for us.
some
For
love.
us. Yeah.
Like,
Oh man.
it is heartbreaking.
It is. It is. I just laugh because I do when it's uncomfortable. But it's not a laughing matter, to be honest. Like, not at all.
No, not at all.
And it sucks. And if I was in the same place, I would be throwing tantrum on my live.
Seriously.
So, like, I don't know. You got to respect the way he's going about it. So, artistically and
he's being pretty civil. If I had to say it, he's pretty civil.
He could go on, like, such a more angry kick.
Yeah.
But he's being professional, and I think, but that's how he usually is whenever I've worked with him. So I don't expect anything different. So I hope all the best for him, truly, because getting your art stolen sucks.
Yeah,
had it happen before.
Really?
Not on that scale. Just like with music shit.
Let's talk about that.
I was just in the studio, just kind of writing like stuff on the side, while they were like recording. It was
you're with
a big
a group
of
of
people.
people.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 people. Okay. And I remember making this beat and showing it to the group of people. And it was just kind of like an off the cuff sort of, threw this together, 8 bars, 6 bars, 16, whatever. And they were like, oh man, I love this. But this one dude was like obsessed with this shit. He was like, oh man, I gotta play that shit louder, man. Send that to me right fucking now. And I remember like, I don't know, like 2-3 months later, like the song came out. He dropped a song, and it was the same fucking melody, like to a T. And I was like,
did you call him out?
I called him out. Yeah, he took the song down.
Really?
He took the song down.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he knew.
He knew because I hit him up and I was like, I just kind of sent him the screenshot and I was like, I recognize that melody from somewhere. Where'd you get it? And he was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't let you know. I forgot to tell you. I was like, you forgot to tell me.
Now, imagine the situation completely different if he came to you right off the bat and was like, hey, I really like this. Can I use it and give you credit?
It's just the melody.
It'd be a completely different story, right?
Yeah.
I think so many people, especially artists, just forget to talk to each other and to be human.
Yeah.
Like if we actually wanted to collaborate and create something together, why not just work together?
Yeah, that's true. Totally. I feel that being said, it also has to be said that like community is extremely important, and like the way artists interact and respect each other is super important. But that also like doesn't mean that everyone needs to work together.
That's fair.
Because I find that like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but it's just kind of like everyone forces things.
Right.
A lot.
For the sake of collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we should get in.
No, that's an interesting take.
Yeah. And no shade or anything. Like no one in specific.
No. But you have to be able to decline sometimes too.
Totally.
I'm terrible at that.
And that's like part of the communication, is like when it is decline, it's just taking that like a champ and like realizing
nothing
it
personal.
just wasn't the right time.
People take it too personal though.
They do.
That's where it gets hard.
It does get really hard because then it goes so easily from you declining a session, or like sometimes I just won't respond to people. It's bad. Like, and I just like get overwhelmed. To be honest.
For those of you who also don't know, Charlie records.
Yes.
And mixes it up in the studio. I don't know any of the technical terms, but he does his magic.
Oh yes,
and,
we Logic Pro it up.
Yeah, he records people in his studio and makes them sound way better than they are. So
we try. We try. There's so many talented musicians here, especially in this city. I will say. That come through and record.
Too.
Young kids.
Young people.
Young kids. I used to work at that one place recording with kids basically for 2.5 years about-ish.
Right.
And I would have kids step up to the mic 13 years old and spit something better than a grown-ass man that came through and spent 8 hours in the studio.
That's so great.
Because it's just like, I don't know. They don't have anything to hold them back.
Right.
They're creative. It's like what we were just talking about. Like those self-doubts and everything have not been instilled in those kids yet.
They're just playing around. They're having a good time.
So like, and this is also, I hate to I hate to bring this guy Maud Dudes back into the...
No.
No, but Mitch and I were talking about
Love Mitch.
drawing with kids. And we were both saying, like, it's just like those original ideas. Like a kid will draw like a banana flying over the streets of Manhattan or something. And you're like, that is the most fucking fire idea I've ever seen. But it's just because, like, it's not clouded by anything. It's not like, oh, you can't draw fruit in a city, fruit flying. It's not how it's supposed to be.
A precious thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yeah,
shout out my dudes. We're going to get him on soon. I asked him to come on the second episode, but he is working on some insane fucking shit. So we're taking...
You just got me instead.
A few weeks, and we got Charlie here instead.
He literally called me. He was like, "Hey, you were not my first choice."
Listen, I called Mitch. He said he didn't want to do it. Charlie, I need to pull through.
I had actually asked you to do it. He was like, "Here, I wanted Mitch to do it," and then Charlie asked.
Yeah, so I kind of was obligated. Yeah, it was not.
I wasn't ready to say no yet.
No,
man.
Again, I appreciate you and all of your being, because I feel like you're just somebody I can call on no matter what the time is, what the idea is, but you're always somebody that actually shows up.
Thank you, man.
And I appreciate that, because there are not many people out there that are just good and kind-hearted and show up for friends. And you're one of those
thank you.
people.
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. Likewise. I feel the same way about you. It's so rare to find like true friends in such like a fake community. Not to say, not in like it's just how it is. You know, people are fake. Like everywhere.
I think social media is really killing so much human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy for people to call bullshit over the phone. But when you get in person and you start talking to them and connecting on a human level, sitting face to face, it's an insanely different experience. And that's why I love this podcast, man. Totally. Is because I get to sit down face to face and talk with people and be human. And I know great thing. I'm saying the same thing as I was last podcast, but it's the truth.
That's all good. Just say until they're commenting.
Right.
On it,
Right.
Yeah. It's a really hard thing to, I feel like, express your ideas with the public rather than like expressing the ideas to like friends who are fellow creators that you have such high regard for. Because it's like me showing you a song, it's completely a different thing than like me showing someone else a song. Right. If that makes sense.
No, yeah. I mean, artists in themselves know how to critique and generally speaking, how to take criticism.
Generally.
What was
Generally.
That? Generally. I find myself having a really hard time taking criticism every now and again on projects I'm like super passionate about.
That's fair. It hurts.
I get weird and defensive. I'm like, this is my baby. Like,
yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. But in a perfect world, none of that would exist, and we'd all be good at taking criticism. But I feel like, generally speaking, artists are able to connect on that way without saying like, hey, I think this part of the track should be changed. You're not going to take that as, oh, he hates the track.
Sure, because it's so much more specific. You know, like I can show a song to any, Joe Brianna or Kyle, and they're like, the vibe is on point.
Right. They'll hype you up no matter what.
Not what I want.
You could put like a dumpster fire in front of them, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, this is good, bro.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny, dude. Just like criticism that you're not looking for is I will say, like, I'm with you there. Like the criticism, like when it's not the criticism that you want to hear, right? Like when it's not something specific, it's just like something you can't change. When like I don't really like it,
or it's like,
the hook's not really good enough, or it's the verse doesn't. Well, that doesn't tell me anything.
You should have said that like 5 hours ago.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's all right. It happens to the best of us.
Oh man.
It takes me back, Takes me back to some real nice places. You know, Charlie, I got to travel the world with
This
you.
is true.
I was thinking about that the other day and how insane that entire trip was,
Oh
and
my
how it
gosh.
still doesn't feel like it
Real at all.
happened.
Yeah, totally.
But I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Most definitely. Oh, it's amazing being able to see somewhere else. I don't know. I think I've been to Italy like one time prior, maybe.
You were with It was Gabe, YD, you, and Lore.
That's right. The first time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Shout
that
out
was crazy
Lore.
too. Shouts
Shout
out
Gabe.
Lure. I miss you. I miss
Shout
you, dog.
YD.
Yeah.
I'm shouting out some people that I still have beef with, but that's fine.
I'm over it. I'm over any beef.
Yeah, I'm trying to be too. Honestly, I've been doing a ton of reflecting, and I said this last episode too.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to clear out some skeletons in my closet. You know,
Good.
I've got a ton of them. Honestly, a ton of big skeletons that I just prefer not to deal with. I'm doing my best to come around.
It's easy to hang up the skeletons.
Yeah, it is. Not to take them down.
Take them down.
Take them down is hard, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it was all, I don't know. Beef is just so like fucking stupid.
It's bad.
It just stresses everyone out, and it makes things that were like intended to be good like just not.
And that's the thing. At the end of the day, I think everybody was in such a good spot, and then it was soured really quickly because of just, I don't know.
Like mini conflicts just along the way, like little disagreement. And I also like that being said, I really like am thankful for that trip and for all of my times abroad, because I feel like going like young and not having any, like, because my parents don't really like travel that much, and my family never has. Like, I guess my aunt and uncles kind of do. But my family is like the type we're always driving to Florida, or we're driving to South Carolina, and I don't know, just being there and figuring out like some bullshit just made me feel like such a strong ass.
Made me feel alive, man. We had no idea what was going on, what we were gonna do, but that was like the most alive I've ever felt.
Yeah, totally, 1,000%.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I should always just start with this instead of waiting too long in the conversation. I need to get better at this.
It's okay. I'm
Charlie,
not good at it either.
YD, Gabriel, and myself went on a sort of tour of sorts. We went to Copenhagen and we went to Italy, and we just traveled around, and we met with some really cool creatives, and they did a few shows, and we filmed a few music videos, and
got a few drunk.
I had absinthe the other day.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Shouts out Gabe and his family though for that
hosting us.
That was amazing.
I
wouldn't have been able to pay for it.
Oh God, no.
Just mainly because they all speak
none of us
such heavy Italian. I would, and they're like, Italians are just like,
they took us in and cared for us.
Yeah, they're like motherly. I feel matriarchal. I don't know. Willing to help, but they're like, you should learn the language.
Oh yeah, they're very passionate about their culture. They want to get you involved, and they want to see you enjoy it in their point of view. You know, and I think it's fair to say that without that support from them, none of us would have been able to make that trip work financially.
Man, yeah, absolutely, totally. What a godsend Gabe's family was in that moment, man. Because I was like, I don't have any money on me right now. Sorry, guys.
Right, but at the same time, we weren't worried about all of that. It was, man, to go back.
I would love to. Like, go back now. I feel like compared to 2-3 years ago, I'm just, like, personally a completely different person.
Oh, me too.
You know?
Yeah.
So I would love to go and, like, link back with the people that we linked up with before.
Right. No, I feel like every single person on that trip has grown so significantly from where they started. I mean, myself and just I brought my camera, and I look back at those pictures, and I'm like, I was not qualified to do any of this work.
No.
And if I went back there now with the equipment I had and the knowledge that I had, I could make something so great.
Yeah, totally.
And,
totally. I felt like immature.
Yeah.
You know, looking back, I
Very
feel
immature.
immature. You know, and at that moment, I mean, even some of the footage, I'll look back at and be like,
that's not it.
We should cut that, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, traveling abroad, it doesn't even matter how young you are. I just recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just a completely different worldview. It's a different way to see the world. It's way cheaper than you would think. Because we made it happen on no budget.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We had a few places to stay given.
Right.
Of course. But, I mean, social media now. I have friends in London now that I've never met. I have friends in, you know, LA that I haven't met. Crazy. Friends in Canada I haven't met. It's great, though.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to deal with those people.
Right. Yeah.
Only like via DM or the occasional Zoom. Right. You know, when you're happy and ready to deal with that person.
Yeah. You're doing it on your own terms.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. They can't be like, hey, I'm coming over in 5. No, please don't.
Dude, I'm also so bad about that too. With like all my friends, like if we're getting together, I'm like I hate planning. I don't plan like weeks in advance or months in advance. I'm just the type of guy to like pick up the phone and say, hey bro, I'm about to pull up and it's going to be like, oh, actually, by the way, I'm actually outside your door right now. So if you can just let me in, we're going to hang out.
I guess that's one way to do it. Force it on them.
Force it on.
Force friendship.
Force it out.
That's the only thing.
You got to have a little spontaneity, you know?
Yeah, of course. Keep things interesting.
So Charlie just opened a door wide open for me to come and knock on your studio doors.
Welcome.
And be the Rick Rubin to your any hip hop artist.
To my he's worked with everyone. Gunna. I don't know. That's just what came to mind first.
Okay, you're Gunna.
It's probably the one person he hasn't worked with too.
Probably. we do fact check that.
Oh man, Rick Rubin blows my mind. I highly recommend any musician, producer, creative reading anything with him. He's like God.
I think about Rick Rubin so often to the point where I want to be Rick Rubin.
I want to run my fucking fingers through his beard.
It's insane.
Just whisper, thank you.
And like, I just want to sit like pretzel-legged on the floor with him and just look into his eyes because he is such a philosopher.
Yeah, and 100%.
I mean, there's just so much good I could say about Rick Rubin, and I don't know if you don't know Rick Rubin, like Charlie said, please look up Rick Rubin.
Yeah, drop some knowledge in such a calm way too.
Right.
That's why I'm waiting for Rick Rubin to do a master class. You ever done one of those?
No, I watch every single one of his interviews, and I always hope that someday he gets in front of a camera and just spews knowledge for like 24 hours straight. I would listen to the whole thing or watch the whole thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
He should have a podcast.
Rick Rubin. There's like a few. I really don't like have favorites, like at all in the music scene because there's so much out there. Like, what was the Spotify stat? I forgot. I read it somewhere. It's like 60,000 new songs get added to Spotify every month.
Ooh.
Or something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be way off, but it's something like some obscene number.
Crazy
like
number.
Or like there's like thousands of rappers with the name Lil something. It's just there's so much content to digest that I don't feel like comfortable on my own saying like, oh, this is a favorite when I know that there's way more music than I haven't listened to than music that I have listened to. So that's why it's like hard to put like a top 5 like artist wise or anything. But just people that are like notable for the music industry, Rick Rubin has to be 100% in that top 5. Him and Dave Grohl, in my opinion. Dave Grohl is probably my top 1 or 2.
Who's Dave Grohl?
He's the drummer for Nirvana.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Created Foo Fighters. So he's the lead singer for Foo Fighters now. And I went and saw them in concert. It was their first concert back from quarantine. I went and saw them in Milwaukee. Best fucking concert I've ever been to in my life. 2.5 hours of just Dave Grohl screaming.
Oh, baby.
He came on, he's like, I'm I'm so fucking happy to be here. He's like, I haven't played anything, so we're just gonna play hit after hit after hit after hit. And that's what they did. They didn't take any breaks.
Let's go.
They just kept going.
They just went into
kept going. Inspiring. It has a good Hot Ones episode too. Oh, yeah.
Love Hot Ones.
Yes, for sure.
That's another interview style that I always enjoyed because it was more than just an boring interview talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
It was like exciting because, again, the best interviewers don't necessarily talk about what's going on with the artist currently. They try to get in their heads and explain, some things that most people don't know about the person they're interviewing, trying to connect them with, just trying to expand the knowledge of how we know people.
I love that's a really good point. I also have to shout out All Gas No Breaks. / Channel 5 now. It's Channel 5 now.
Channel 5 now.
But Andrew Callahan is in my IMO like the best. He's up there with Nardwuar.
Oh my God. Easy. Because he's covering things. He's making it funny, which is always helpful.
Because that's the only way to go about it, though, I feel. Because he's covering things that everyone in the fucking world has an opinion on.
Right.
And that's, I guess that's everything now. But, like,
very
how are you going to cover race riots? Right. How are you going to cover, like, Jacob Blake riots? How are you going to cover, like, partying middle Corona on the beach? Comedy, because it's the one thing that everybody can digest.
Well, it makes you, to a certain extent, feel like a normal person.
Totally.
After watching some of those videos, you're like, man, I'm doing pretty good.
Sure.
It makes you feel good about yourself because you're not one of those people doing some of those things until, he shows up at your doorstep and you're one of those people doing one of those things.
Totally. And it's like, it's just crazy to me how natural he is with everybody. Like he gives everybody the same version of himself, which I don't think any that I can think or that I watch news stations at all. Like there's no news that I watch where I'm not turning it off within 5 minutes.
Right. That's
because everything just pushes negativity. But he does and he doesn't. Because he'll do something about like, oh, we're all protesting here. This is this crazy protest. And then he's at like the Flat Earth Conference.
He walks a very thin tightrope.
Yeah, totally.
Very thin tightrope because
he bounces it.
Right. He does a backflip on the tightrope while he's strung between two skyscrapers. And he flawlessly walks across that thing. And it is a pleasure to watch.
Yes.
Because half of me thinks if I ever tried to do something, I'd be canceled in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah. Oh man. It's just like it's really nice to see like interesting shit like that. I don't know. It's refreshing. Like, cause I feel like everyone, like a lot of people copies each other. Like it's like, oh, I see an idea. I'm gonna do that idea because it's popular. I'm gonna do this because it's popular. Which like it's useful, obviously.
Well, there's a little part of that in everything,
Oh, yeah.
Nobody is coming up with an idea for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
We're always just taking in information and making it our own.
Just sampling it.
But he is so far out there from anybody else. You can't compare him to anybody else doing it. And I'm sure there will be people in the future.
It's funny. Like, he just had one where he was like taking videos of all the people that were like doing the same thing as him. Like he was at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And he like found like the equivalent, like the old All Gas No Breaks
TikTokers
group, like, doing the same thing with like the mic.
Yeah.
And you like come up and be like, oh hey, what's up? Andrew Callahan here, and they're like,
wait,
oh it's you. Like I'm doing everything that you do.
I should watch.
You should. The Super Bowl one's crazy. I like the part in the Super Bowl one where they look and they see all of the rappers on the like. So there's like the gate that surrounds like SoFi or whatever that stadium is, and on the gate it's like a construction fence. Basically with that orange paneling where you can't see through, and it's just like people with like portable boom boxes, just like spitting their stuff.
Oh, trying to get
Which
like,
is super
heard,
cool
trying
to me.
get seen. I
think that's so cool. Like, where else? I don't know. That's so cool.
Well, and again, it's them not taking the path of social media, trying to just blast their stuff
Totally.
to every single person. They're out there hustling, trying to get whoever the fuck to hear their track.
It's got insane.
It's I could see myself do that to a certain extent. Like if there's something I'm super passionate about, and sometimes you just gotta get seen. And if you do the craziest stuff, you get seen sometimes.
You just gotta be creative, like and be yourself. And I think everyone has like more ideas than they let themselves believe. Like I heard this one story in college from a professor who was like giving us like tips on the music industry, how to get gigs, whatever. And he was like, it's more just like making sure that what you have to say is just a hair more notable than everyone else. So like he had a student that really wanted to work at a heavy metal label. I don't remember the name. And the student had a dad that worked like at a metal factory, whatever. Well, he bought like 100 pounds of like just thick fucking metal and had his dad print his like what's that like your job application.
Oh, resume?
Like resume, yeah. On it. So like this label, a heavy metal label, receives a heavy metal resume. And he got the job, they didn't read it. Oh. They didn't look at any of the other ones.
They didn't care. Just the level of creativity.
Literally called him. They were like, "You're on." And I don't know why that story has always stuck with me. So I feel like I try to do the same thing with everything I do. Is just what is that one thing that can separate you, I guess, or set you apart from?
Wow, I love this.
Isn't that a great story?
I
love that. It like I don't know. It's just like one of those stories that you hear. And you like feel it like in your body.
Yeah.
You're just like, damn, like what a good ass fucking idea.
Be that much more.
Just like stupid shit too. Like people sleep on stupid shit. Like people would shit on me so hard when I was little. Like I played shows since I was like 14. And I would set up a whole like a rug, like a chair and a lamp and a nightstand.
Yep.
And people were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like that's really
ridiculous.
Weird.
You're making your own set."
Then I like had like a sofa on one of them, and people were like, "That's so cool." And we started doing the sofa songs, which I stopped. I shouldn't have, but I did. We'll keep it going. But just like little shit like that. And people, it's so easy to see something that you're not familiar with and to hate on it. Because it's like different.
And all you're trying to do is create something memorable and to be like your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been with you for so many of your shows, and it's the littlest details that really draw people into you.
Oh yeah.
Because the sofa and the little set you always had with you, it's very, it made you feel at home, Yeah. It's the same thing about doing a podcast in your living room. You're bringing that aspect where it's just a relaxing atmosphere and you're out here to have fun, but you're also here to entertain.
Sure. I love that. That's a beautiful vibe to have. I've always felt the music, for you, obviously, it's, videography or just anything digital media tech, I guess. But, like, it's so easy to, I don't know, take things personally, even, like, your own thoughts. When it's just, like, I do music because it makes me really happy. I do music because, like, it makes me feel really safe. And I think that's just, like, people stray from that. You know, when in reality, like, that's why I did it. Was like one to get attention. Obviously, I love attention.
There's a little bit of
narcissism, and I need tips. Yeah. But like, it was mainly just like I feel comfortable on stage, but not like standing. I don't feel comfortable standing on stage. I don't like it at all. I don't like like dancing. I don't like that's just not my vibe. I've always been the kind of person to sit down and just like feel the music, and I feel like that was the way that I could do that without boring people. Because like you can't like always sit down.
Right.
It's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But like if you have a lamp, okay,
then you can sit down.
You can sit the fuck down
because you got a lamp.
Yeah, because you got a lamp. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I because people were telling me that. Like I remember I started playing, and I would always like pull a stool up. People were like, yo, you gotta stand. You gotta stand. Like fellow older musicians, mentors at the time, you gotta stand. Like stand. No one's gonna pay attention if you don't stand. I just didn't want to fucking stand.
And people paid attention.
People paid attention, yeah, because I just threw a light up there.
And I think part of that is because everybody else was standing, and you're sitting there sitting.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
It's a signature thing. It's different than everybody else, and it's also you know?
Yeah. I'll have to like figure a way to stand. Like eventually when I play,
Yeah.
like when I played in Italy, that was the most fucking like black and white. Like flip the switch, because I had to stand the whole fucking time.
Well, and you're in front of a huge audience.
Yeah, it's just like
I would piss myself. Yeah. So unlike anything you've ever done, probably.
Yeah. 1,000%. I mean, to this day, still like, yeah, it's just different.
But do you want to go back?
I would love to. I would
do
love
that
to.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'd love to in that same way. Well, for people I didn't know, I toured with an Italian band named Eugenio. Shouts out.
Very cool.
The boys. A really good group of dudes. Indie stuff. I opened for them for, I don't know, I was there like 2 months, 2-3 months. And it was a fucking blast. Like, and they just shove you fucking on there. Cause, you know,
good luck.
Yeah, like they don't speak any. Gabe wasn't with me at the time. So like the only person that spoke much English, I guess, was Fajo, the like the manager, performance manager, whatever. So I was like, they just push you on
but they
stage.
loved you, dude.
It was awesome. It was amazing, man. I am so blessed. Thank you, Gabe, for that plug. That was 100% him and his family and Fajo, and that's a good fucking time, dude.
It was a very cool opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And man, I wish I was there to see some of those shows because they looked unreal. I mean, I was so happy for you seeing it from afar, just seeing the images that were coming through and seeing some of the video. I mean, you had a full audience's attention, and they loved you.
Yeah. I have to credit it to Eugenio. They put a unbelievable show on, and their audience is one of the most like. See, that's the difference though. That when you play in Italy, like I noticed, like when YD and I played at the K-Camp show, or any show I played here, everyone has their phones out, like taking videos or anything. It's just not like that in Italy. Like you look into the crowd and everybody's like eyes on you, participating. When you talk, they're silent. When you want them to yell, they yell. And I still like, I don't really know if that was like what I was doing, you know, or if that was just like how like the crowd was already into it.
There is
but, like,
definitely something to that where, because I noticed it too in the few shows we did while I was with you guys. I mean, there is definitely a difference between doing a concert in America with the same amount of people and doing a concert anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds like extremely, I don't know, mean,
I know, I feel you though. No, I feel you.
But it's so true because people, I remember in Copenhagen, we were talking to a group of people that we just had run into after you guys had gotten done performing. And there was, do you hear
Is that a child?
This is my cat.
Oh my God.
Ned, I'm not feeding you. What time is it?
Oh my God. Our technical producer is literally running amok
He's
again.
literally in the bathroom just meowing. He does this so often.
You gotta shit, dude.
Well,
teach him how to use the toilet. I have a friend that taught his cat to use the toilet, and they just sent it into a group chat. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a Twitter thing. He's like, that's my cat.
Oh my God. I need to see it. It's pretty, I'm sure everybody has seen it. Like the cat. How do you train that?
Like, cats don't even know what a toilet is.
Hey, Ned, come here. Come here, dog. We need to talk. we need to teach you how to.
No, he doesn't want
shut
any
your mouth."
of
He
that.
literally is walking straight
He
away.
wants
He's
none
so
of that.
pissed.
Where the fuck?
But to take it back before we were rudely interrupted by my hungry cat, who I will feed after this. Don't get me wrong, but he needs to chill. There was. We were talking to the people in Copenhagen after the show.
Yeah. This is the one in Bakken, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it was YD. He's like, why? I don't know. We didn't get the same amount of love we thought we would have. And I think YD was very curious to find out, like, why nobody was paying attention to you guys when you were up on the mic. And it wasn't that nobody was paying attention, but he had the courage to ask, and the people there were like, you Americans are so good at putting people on pedestals and worshiping them. Here in Copenhagen, we just want to connect to you. We're all the same. Nobody's better than anybody else. And it's a very American thing to put people on pedestals and to worship celebrities, and I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you're guilty of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like built into our culture and our DNA to worship people.
Oh, yeah.
And in a lot of other places, it's not like that.
Totally.
Like, they don't care you're American and you're here one night to perform.
They came to shit on us. Like, they told us that openly. They
Right.
were like, yeah, we came to the show because we were going to boo you, and you guys were just good.
Right.
Like, I remember them literally saying, they were like, yeah, like, it's packed just because, like, they were going to, like, shit on the American artists.
They saw that Americans were going to play there, and they're like, man, we're going to ruin their day.
Fucking God, they didn't tell me that beforehand, because my anxiety would have shot through the roof.
Oh, I'm sure. But that was such a memorable and cool experience to be able to talk with those people because, one, it humbled me. I think it humbled everybody.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It was just a different way than we were used to. And I really wish it was like that here.
Yeah, I definitely, like, and back to what I said before, everyone should just travel. Like, I highly recommend that before you go and, like, really go and, like, explore the States, just, like, get out of the States once.
Right.
Because it's just different. Like, it's different. Like, every time you go in the States, you can go anywhere in the United States and it's so safe and it's the same. But if you go overseas, there's just so much unapologetic culture everywhere that it's, like, so much to digest. But it's, like, mind-blowing.
We Americans live very sheltered lives, even though we see so much through our phones.
Yeah. And I feel twice as sheltered, like, being from here.
Yeah.
Too. Because I feel like, even, like, compared to, like, I remember going to school in St. Paul, like, downtown, and being in a city and being like, oh my
city
God,
bigger
this
than
is
Green
fucking
Bay.
Totally, like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then I went overseas and was like, that was not crazy at all.
That was just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I've crazy so many fucking times.
Wow, it is crazy. We need, what's the different word for crazy that we can start using? But no, there's. I come from Pulaski, Wisconsin, bro. I lived in the cornfields.
I always forget about that.
I lived in the cornfields. I was raised in the cornfields.
Tell them about your setup at your childhood house.
Oh yeah. So when these guys first met me, I was living in my parents' house after I dropped out of school.
Yeah.
With my best friend Evan Siahan, and we had a little setup in my childhood bedroom, and it was pretty freaking impressive.
It was fire, dude. It blew my mind.
We had mounted 4K 55-inch TVs right next to each other, and then we had both of our rigs posted up, ready to go. We had like cool lighting.
We're at the drive, dude.
My parents were so understanding and so nurturing towards my creativity because I cannot imagine letting my kids do that. But they did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was such a cool thing. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Because
shouts out
that
Mom and Dad, April.
Another huge reason why I'm here doing the things I'm doing is because of them and the love that they gave me. Because that little childhood bedroom put in a ton of work, man.
It's a ton of work, dude. Like years and years of work. And that's just proof, man, all you need is a farmhouse in Pulaski.
Right. You don't have to live in a city to be cultured.
No.
But there are definitely cases out there where, people outside of the city are definitely not cultured because because
comfortability.
Yeah.
I feel.
Right. But
it's the same.
It makes you who you are. I will always have a little bit of Pulaski country boy in me.
Yes, sir.
And you, the little preppy Notre Dame
Preppy
kid.
Notre Dame kid. Oh, man. Yeah, Catholic school.
What a treat.
With a little cherry on top.
Thank God my parents were not religious.
I don't know. I just kind of had like religion forced on me my whole life throughout. Like they really forced it on. Like Catholic school, like they throw it on hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of took me away from it. I don't know.
Oh, I can't imagine why. That's crazy. Crazy. That's crazy, bro.
The worst, dude.
No, It's definitely one of those harder subjects to talk about because.
Yeah. Are you religious at all? No.
I'm definitely not. I think there's something at the end of all this.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Otherwise, why would we be here?
Totally. Right? Yeah. There's some sort of higher power or something. I just
right. There's something, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the rewritten white man's history.
Dude, it's yeah. We won't even need to get into that.
No, I think
no, but it's true. There's a version of history that I feel like I was taught, and I feel like even in the past like 3 years, I've just had my mind blown and blown and blown and blown at like how wrong that was.
Right.
Well,
yeah, my mom went to a Catholic high school.
Oh yeah.
She was Catholic her whole life, and I just always remember her talking about how they never taught her evolution. And the first time she heard about evolution was in college. Like, it's insane.
What? That's crazy.
So to go back to like how extreme it was for even like our parents' generation.
Yeah.
I mean, it is twisted.
Oh, yeah.
It's twisted.
Man.
It's just, imagine, I can't wrap my head around it. It's honestly kind of disturbing.
I agree. I agree. Just like how such wrong things, like such like obviously wrong things. Like Jesus wasn't like, they're like, oh, the white Jesus. The whitest man alive with a beard and a long set of beautiful brunette hair.
Yeah,
this man was not white at all. You serious right now?
Yeah.
That just blows my mind. And the crazy thing was like, I remember thinking about that after high school. Like I remember going through high school. I was an 18-year-old, like fully able to form my own opinions, being like, Jesus is white as hell. No.
He was not. Yeah.
But people will but the crazy thing is like, people will like fight that so hard. It's like, you can't fight something that's factual. Like,
yeah, but they don't see it that way.
Yeah, so that's true. But it's like crazy to me that they don't. Like coming from like having like seeing like I have been in that realm before. And like, and maybe it's because I've traveled, maybe it's just because I have like a more open mind or something or whatever, but like I find that like listening to that sort of shit, like just it's like, how did I find myself believing some shit like that?
Right. How did you go through that entire? Well,
yeah, and that's not like not downplaying, not religion. I'm talking about white Jesus.
Yeah.
Religion, I think, is like,
give yourself some credit, man.
Oh yeah,
you came out the other end just fine.
Thanks, babe.
I have no problem flirting with Charlie.
No, it's comfy here.
It's comfy.
That's how comfortable we are. So if you're not ready to come flirt with Steven, do not DM him about.
Don't come on my podcast, man. I'm here to get down and dirty and talk to people on a human level, you know?
Yeah, we're going to feel everything. You're about to feel everything.
Cut the cameras, bro. Cut the cameras.
It goes straight to just sounds. ASMR. No, I guess.
We have been running this thing for an hour now. And honestly, time flies when you're having fun.
This is true.
Because Charlie Urick, I could talk to you for probably 6 more hours and not run out of things to say.
Man, yeah.
So
that's true.
It is a treat to have you here. And I really hope you'll come back because you can be an anchor on this podcast anytime. Man.
Dude, I would love to do that. For real. Thank you.
Sit down and talk to people. I gotta get a few more mics, but sky's the limit, man.
I got mics. Fuck you mean? I'll bring mics.
Okay.
I have like 3 or 4. You can just borrow some.
Well, yeah. I also want to invest in this product and see it succeed and do well by my own means too. So.
Well, I respect that about you, but just know I got some mics in the drawer.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
I hope the viewers learned a little something.
Charlie, is there anything you would like to plug?
Ooh.
Plug it up.
I don't know when the music's coming, but there is music coming.
Thank
I
God.
promise you. I know my plan originally was 3 songs in March, and I'm still sticking to that.
That's this month.
Yes. That's all good. I already have 1 prepped.
All right.
So 1 for sure.
Let's
I already
go.
threw it up in the
We got
the
to hold them
upload
accountable,
program.
people.
Yeah. And I have a song coming out with Boy Boy. Shouts out. I think on the 18th, I believe.
Very nice.
That was a funky little joint. He's real quick with it. So we just kind of got together.
I met him once at Whitey's release party, and he seems like a real cool dude.
Just down to earth, dude. Just
Yeah.
a nice ass fucking guy. Good ass rapper too. Because he's
spit.
quick with it, yeah. And he's really like studio etiquette on fire, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Because he's just in there, and like I find myself, and not that this is not a bad thing, but I find myself while making the beat, I have to stop it for a lot of artists to write.
Get him
Too.
catch up.
Which is not at all, I'm not angry at that at all, but he is very like, just like bar for bar. Like he gets in there, he can just hear it.
Damn.
And so then once the beat's done, he's like, I'm ready to go.
And
I go,
that's
what?
it.
And then he's done. 3, 4, 5 takes.
Love to hear it.
Super clutch. So that's coming out. I got a little YouTube channel with my boy Jamal Stevenson going on called
Let's
Pointless.
go. I've watched a handful of the videos.
Yes, sir. We're needing a lot of spicy shit on there.
Yeah, they do challenges.
Yeah.
They're pretty
Just
funny.
some
The
stupid shit.
editing.
Yeah, just trying to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
With on iMovie.
Dude, it's impressive, honestly, that you're able to do that on iMovie.
Look, we just Ken Burns the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And then we're good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Insert Ken Burns.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Anyways, Charlie, thank you again,
Of course,
man. Yeah, we're going to have Charlie on way more, so you'll be seeing a lot of us in the future.
Woo!
Thank you guys for the second ever episode of the podcast. It was very enjoyable. Let's take it on out, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a nice intro outro kind of deal.
It is.